What's up, ladies and gentlemen of YouTube? Boogie2988 coming at you live once again through the power of the internet, and it's that time again. Let's start talking about them video games. Now, some of you may notice I'm wearing yet another new pair of glasses, and these are sent to me by my sponsor, Glasses USA, and they send them over because they feature their new digital block lenses, which are supposed to help you with eye strain from staring at digital screens all day like I do. If you want to learn more about the glasses, stick around at the end of the video, but you can also do me a favor. There's a link in the description box below, and if you click that link, you can start shopping for glasses right now. You can learn more about the lenses, and for a limited period of time, they're offering 55% off for all of my viewers, so take advantage of that while it lasts. So let's talk a little bit about the Nintendo Switch again this week, and this week it's bad news because it looks like going forward, games are going to be 10 or maybe 15 or as little as $5 more expensive on the Nintendo Switch than they are on other platforms, and that includes digital copies as well. And the problem all seems to start right here with the Nintendo game card, or the cartridge, whatever you want to call these, that work exclusively for the Nintendo Switch. These are not manufactured for any other reasons, only for the Nintendo Switch, which means they're going to be a little more expensive to produce because you're getting produced in smaller numbers. And then also the larger your game, the more storage you have to put on this thing, and that makes it more expensive. Meanwhile, if you want to publish the exact same game over on Xbox One or PlayStation 4, all you have to do is press it onto a Blu-ray disc and put it in a box, and that literally costs pennies to do. Basically what this means, if you're going to publish it on the Nintendo Switch, you have one of two choices. You can either take a $5 or $10 loss to put it on the cartridge, or alternatively, you can pass the price on to the consumer, and that's what most people are going to do because they are running a business, not a charity. Now, what is interesting here is that a lot of the games that are releasing on the Nintendo Switch, that are releasing digitally only, they do have price parity with the other devices that they're releasing on, which might lead you to ask the question, if I'm not buying the physical version of the game, I shouldn't have to pay more, right? Not according to Nintendo. If a game developer or publisher decides to make a physical copy of their game, which is always a good decision with a Nintendo console because often physical copies of Nintendo games tend to be very collectible. But if you decide to do that and you adjust the price accordingly based on the extra cost to do that, Nintendo is forcing those game developers and publishers to charge exactly the same for the digital version of the game in order to keep from upsetting people like Walmart and Meijer and Target and GameStop. So what this basically means is if you produce a physical copy and you don't want to make less money publishing it on the Nintendo Switch, and it may not even make business sense to publish there at all otherwise, then you're going to end up charging more, and Nintendo is going to force you to pass that on digitally as well because Nintendo's not willing to budge, and that sucks. You'll end up paying more for multi-platform games if you buy it on the Switch. But this, once again, allows me to bring up one of my favorite crusades, and that's #DiscountDigital. To this day, I believe that if you're not getting something physical in your hand that you can hold, something that you can trade in and buy and sell or give away, if you're not getting something physical, all you're getting is a digital license and the right to download and play a game, I think you should be getting a discount. And not only is it better for the consumer to discount digital, but I think it's good for the world as well as the businesses that run these things, because if people buy a digital copy of the game and are incentivized to do so, that's less plastic boxes and less plastic discs being flown and shipped and driven all over the world. How stupid is it that we dig oil out of the ground, refine it, then send that oil to China to create this, which is then flown to an Amazon center, and then Amazon will fly it to my house also that I can have this physical copy when you could just incentivize me to buy digitally and help me save $10. I'd rather save $10. And look, I get it. They don't want to upset the retailers, but here's the thing. Those retailers are dying out anyway, and if you want to hear about that, stick around for the next story. Nintendo has an opportunity here to set a precedence, and if they do that, I think it could be very good for Nintendo. It'd be very good for the people who choose to publish there. It could be good for the consumer. It could be good for the world. All they have to do is #DiscountDigital. And now let's talk about the fact that Gamestop is closing hundreds of stores, putting hundreds of people out of business because selling video games the GameStop way just isn't that profitable anymore. Basically, what has happened here is GameStop has released their financial report, and they've made considerably less money than they had projected, and because of that, they're going to have to close some of their least profitable stores to make ends meet and to make sure there's plenty there for the shareholders. Now, you should keep in mind, they're only shutting down about 2 or 3% of their stores. They own 4,400 stores in the United States, 6,600 stores worldwide, and they're only closing down between, people are projecting, about 190 to 210 of those stores. But they did miss their earnings projection by quite a bit, and when asked as to why that was, they said video game sales are lagging, both new and used. They said many of the AAA games that were supposed to come out completely missed their mark. I'm sure Call of Duty is a large portion of that. They also said that the Xbox One and the PlayStation 4 are beginning to mature and that sales always lag on hardware and software when you get to this section of the console's life cycles. And it looks like they're asking for new consoles based on this press release. And I'm not talking Xbox One Scorpio or PlayStation 4 Pro. I think they want the PlayStation 5 and I guess the Xbox 2. But to that, I say no thank you. No thank you. It's still way too early for that. Many people still haven't even joined this generation. And I know a lot of people here will point out the way that GameStop does business with their high-pressure techniques and their trickery and their bamboozles. But the reality of it is, I think it's just so much more convenient to order from your phone or from your tablet. If you're going to buy it, you could buy it digitally. And if you choose to buy it physically, you can have it shipped to your house in just a couple of days. A lot of places ship it to your house on the day that it comes out when it's a video game. And then you don't have to deal with other people. You don't have to drive there. You don't have to spend the gas money. You don't have to pay the taxes in a lot of cases. And yes, of course, you don't have to deal with GameStop's bizarrely uncomfortable techniques for selling things to you. I do believe that inevitably GameStop will have to close its doors and run out of business, but I do think if they course correct here by closing a few stores and hopefully changing their bizarre customer service protocols, they have a real chance to exist for very many more years. But I think eventually they will lose to both the big box retailers who also carry video games, as well as people choosing to buy online. And eventually all of those places will stop selling video games because most of us will just buy it digitally. All right, so something a little more upbeat. Let's talk a bit about Destiny 2. A lot of people have asked about this, and you guys know that I hated on Destiny 1 a bit, but I did still spend like 80 hours playing that game. And millions of people grinded religiously at that game because it was their first real experience with kind of an MMORPG grind fest on console. And I gotta say, a lot of people are still addicted to that game. I myself have been waiting for Destiny 2 for a while, and we're finally starting to get information. And by the way, if you have not seen the little teaser trailer they put out using Nathan Fillon's voice as a robot in the Destiny universe, it is adorable. That little teaser preview has more personality in it than the entire first game. But the idea of Destiny 2 seems really good because I feel like the framework, or even really call it a beta test for Destiny 1, is definitely in place. Some of the gunplay was a lot of fun. The world design was kind of fun. I think the overall concept was fun. The game was missing variety and personality, and that's all stuff that you could easily do if you build off of that original base and just add more stuff. More monsters, more boss types, more cool fights, more cool worlds, and hopefully a much more engaging and much more interesting and in-depth storyline, which is still to this day what I feel the first game lacked. Even though the expansions made up for that a little bit, it still really didn't pull at the heartstrings. It didn't really ever get the player as involved as I wanted it to be. And I really hope that's what they tried to do from the ground up with Destiny 2. Unfortunately, though, it does look like they've already started off on the wrong foot because they have said that there will be PlayStation exclusives and timed exclusives. And if that follows the same business model of the first game, that means you might have to wait months in order to get any of the DLC or any of the expansion packs for the game if you get it on Xbox One, or if presuming there will be a PC copy, and there should be. Activision, you really should make a PC version. If they choose to do that, then you'll probably have to wait for the DLC there. Now, hopefully they'll come to their senses, and maybe it'll just be some emotes or costumes that are exclusive to the PlayStation, but time will tell. But as it is right now, it looks like they're already screwing up this game the way they screwed up the first one. But who knows? I mean, it's probably going to be a while to release. We still don't have a release date. It's probably sometime in 2018. And I think there's an opportunity here for them to get it right, and I'm not going to hate on them until I know for sure. I'm keeping an open mind. I sure won't pre-order, though. And that's about everything in gaming this week that I wanted to talk about. And now, if you don't mind, I'd like to talk a little bit more about my glasses. And don't forget, while I'm talking about these, by the way, you can go to the link in the description box below and click that, and you can start shopping for glasses right now, and they will offer you a 55% discount for a limited period of time. So you definitely want to click that link today, and if you do, it'll help me out. Now, you guys know I've got an ongoing sponsorship with the guys over there at Glasses USA, and thanks to that, I now have a wide variety of glasses because they're so inexpensive to purchase there. With frames starting at like $55. So I'm actually stylish thanks to this sponsorship and thanks to Glasses USA. Now, you'll probably notice that these glasses do reflect what I'm seeing in my computer screen, where these other ones don't. The coating that I have on these lenses is the non-reflective coating because it looks really good on camera, right? These actually have the digital block lenses, so they are a little more reflective. But as a result, it's supposed to make it a heck of a lot easier when it comes to eye strain when you're looking at digital screens all day. Your phone, your tablet, your video games, your computer screen, whatever. Now, when it comes to eye strain for me, I don't even really notice it when it comes to computers and stuff. When I really notice it is when I'm using my tablet, though. Especially when I'm using my tablet and then I look up at the television. I'm using my tablet. I look up to speak up with my wife. I'm using my tablet. I look down to see what the dog needs. I think adjusting from here to there, adjusting here to there, and then trying to focus on a digital screen, which is pixelated, I think that's when I really notice the eye strain. And I've been wearing these glasses for about 24 hours now, and they seem to be helping. Now, these glasses do have a bit of a tinted coating to them, too. It's not so much that I notice when I'm looking away from a screen, but when I am looking at a screen, the screen just doesn't seem to be as bright and glaring as it normally is, and I can imagine that's exactly the effect they're going for. I imagine that's why there's no reflective coating as well, because it's reflecting some of that light as well. And I gotta say, that's probably going to make a heck of a difference. So if you're the kind of person, especially like my wife, who has a lot of trouble staring at a digital screen or playing video games for a long period of time and you get headaches and migraines and your eyes hurt and they burn, this might very well be a solution for you. So you want to check them out, click on the link in the description box below. You can start shopping for glasses right now. Just get your prescription, plug it into the website, and they'll mail them directly to your house. It is very inexpensive to purchase glasses there, especially with that 55% discount they are offering for a short period of time. So now is a good time to buy. And hey, if you do that, you'll also be supporting me, and I could always use your support, especially in this very scary landscape that YouTube is becoming. We never know what the future is going to be, but with sponsors like Glasses USA helping me out and you helping them out, I can be bringing you videos for a really long time to come. So guys, as always, thank you for watching. I love you very much, and I'll speak with you again soon. We'll see you next week for some more video game news.